basically this is how you set the dice in your hand, what position the numbers are facing. It's a key element to the game I feel many don't understand, me included. You've come up with something you call the golden rule, and I love this. Seems like a no-brainer. Your set is the same as your point. Easy enough, right?
Well, you gave away one of our true secrets, but it's out. So yeah, that's the key. I have all the books that have ever been written on dice setting, pretty much. That's why it took me so long to write my book, because I wanted to read what was out there, what was right, what was wrong. All the books were great. I learned a lot from them. But when it came to naming the sets, everybody had different names for different sets. They'd say, put certain numbers on the top, certain numbers facing you, turn one die one way, another die another way, turn around, do the hokey pokey. I mean, it got so confusing that I was confused, and I kind of know the game. So I said, what's the common denominator? How can we put this together and use the KISS method? So I came up with your inside access numbers, and it's been written before. Dice setting is nothing new. It goes back to the late 20s and 30s. But I came up with the golden rule that your set will be the same as your point. Now, I'll just give you one quick example. I'm not going to go through all of them, obviously. But the come-out roll is when you want to roll a 7, okay? But you don't want to roll craps, 2, 3, and 12. So if you put the inside access numbers with the 1 and the 6 touching each other,
right. And
here's another shortcut. You can think of the dice as a clock. 12 will be the numbers on the top, 6 will be the numbers on the bottom, and the 9 and the 3 on the clock are the inside access numbers touching each other. So if you have the 1 and the 6 touching each other, that equals 7. 7 is the number you're trying to roll, 7 is your set. Now, that set has also been called the hard way set, the come-out set, the all-7 set. It just depends on what numbers you have on top. But each set gives you 16 combinations, 4 times 4, because you're rolling 4 sides times 4 sides. So once you have the right access numbers, it's not going to change the 16 combinations. And that's what I was teaching my niece. And because she can count to 6, she got to be where she could set the dice for any number, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, and it just fell into place. It's the KISS method.
Yeah, and you lay it out nicely in the book. Depending on what number you're trying to roll or what set, you've got the access numbers all there for the reader, the sister numbers well explained as well.
Yeah, and what, for your viewers or your listeners, what a sister number is when they put the dice together, they put certain numbers on each side. So with a single die, both sides are going to add up to 7. If 1 is on one side, 6 is on the other. If 2 is on the other side, 5 is on the other. If 3 is on one side, 4 is on the other. That's called the sister number. But then when you put a set of dice together, they have sister numbers. So if one die equals 7, what's 2 times 7? 14. So if you have the aces on top, 2, the number that equals 14 is on the bottom, 12. If you have 3 on the top, 11's on the bottom, etc., all the way to 7. And if 7's on the top, 7's on the bottom. And I forget where I put all that, but it's in the book with photographs, and it gives you all the sister numbers and how they work.
You've also, and I really like this, you've also developed a dice setting strategy chart. You've talked about it. Something we see in the game of blackjack, strategy count cards. I mean, there's even pre-flop charts in poker. Something simple there for the player to look at and help improve their game, make it simple for them.
Well, it goes back to the KISS method. And it's funny you mentioned those blackjack cards. The same company that develops the blackjack strategy cards is printing my dice setting strategy card, because I put it in a book with all the sets and all the different ways you can roll the numbers 2 through 12. Random, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 36 combinations. But then when you have a dice set, it's only 16 combinations. So I tell you how many ways you can roll each number. And I didn't want you to rip the book apart, so I actually made a plastic card. One side has all the do sides with the inside access numbers. You flip it over, it has the sets to establish your don't point, and then how to 7 out. So it's just keeping the KISS method and taking it to the next level.
I'd like to touch on a few more bets. You already mentioned them. The all tall and small bets, the repeater bets, the fire bets. Can you touch briefly on each one?
Yeah, okay. Now, basically, those are your high percentage bets. The first thing you have to learn to win those bets is your dice sets. Without getting too involved, there's basically 6 master sets, what they call master sets, and they're all listed in the book. 4 of them help the do player, and then 2 of them are for the don't player when you win a 7 out. So once you learn your master sets and what they call the inside access numbers, then you can go to these more advanced bets. I mean, you're really jumping into the advanced category.